Milwaukee Brewers baseball is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, a new era of sports betting. Final time for these two teams in the regular season. It's the Brewers and the Cubs. Winner this one this afternoon takes the series. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Wrigley Field with Tim Dillard and Sophia Minnaert down on the field. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. And Tim, the Brewers with a shutout yesterday over the Cubs. Doesn't happen often for the Brewers against the Cubs, but huge to pick up the season series win, too.
Yeah, after a lot of runs scored in Minnesota, runs have been hard to come by here at Wrigley so far. So what happens? You need good performances, and that's what happens. You get a shutout, seventh shutout for the Brewers this season. Started with Colin Ray, 5 strong innings, 8 strikeouts for him. Gives way to Hudson. If you blink, you missed it. Guess what? Elvis enters the building. He was fantastic. That slider, I mean, we've seen parts of it like in Houston, but that's what it looks like. One of the best sliders we've seen all season long. Koenig took 30 pitches to get through an inning after getting a couple of ambush singles. He gets out of it. 30 pitches, though. Might not see him today, but how about Trevor McGill? He comes out, guns blazing. Oh, 20th save for the Brewers. How big has that been? It's been huge, and that's what you got to have. You have to have lights out moments against an offense. I mean, the Cubs have been putting together some stuff, the walks, the ambush base hits, but if you look at the season series, Milwaukee, they won that series for the second consecutive season. The Brewers playing some pretty good baseball last night. Hopefully the offense can pick them up here today.
See that relievers earned run average. Brewers doing the majority of the damage against the Cubs relievers. Yesterday got their first run against a Cubs starter at Wrigley Field this season. And speaking of pitching, the Brewers have been to be determined over the course of the last few days. Leading into today, Pat Murphy saying Rob Zastryzny's going to make his third start, and he has been outstanding in whatever role he has pitched for the Brewers.
He's been around a while. Former Cub, former second rounder. He's kind of been there, done that. 32 years old. Well, hey, you want to start? Sure. This will be his third start on the season. He's been good. Hasn't given up a run because he hasn't given up a hit. He did give up a walk, though, but I bet he sleeps at night just fine. But he mixes it up. You got the cutter, the four-seam fastball, that sweeper. He's just going to be the opener. It could be 5 batters. It could be 6. But I think he's going to attack this Cubs lineup, let the defense play, and then give way to maybe some of the bigger guys. Maybe Wilson, Junis, who knows. But, man, not everyone can do this. We've already seen him go out. He got his stretch in like a normal reliever would. The only difference is he's the guy that's standing on the mound. So let's take a look at our Potawatomi Sportsbook advanced stat. Since the All-Star break, 17 and a third innings. They've given up just 4 runs. The opponent batting average 215. This bullpen, outstanding. 3-0. They have the wins in all 3 games that they've won. So this is what it takes. When runs are hard to come by, you got to rely on a staff.
A chance to go 4-1 on this road trip. Of course, 5 games, swept the series in Minnesota, and then trying to win 2 out of 3 against the Cubs just would be gravy today. But they've got to go against Justin Steele, who's got a 2.21 career earned run average against the Brewers.
I mean, he probably has that against almost everybody. Last year, he was an all-star in 2023. He's picked up right where he left off. He missed April, but he's back on the wagon. He's been throwing the ball well. Blue Steel, you can see 10 hits that he's given up against the Brewers, only 1 extra base hit. And how does he do it? Basically 2 pitches. He's going to throw a four-seam fastball in on the righties and then a slider down and in. And he's going to see a lot of right-handed batters, 8 on the Brewers lineup. And that's where he lives. He's going to jam and crowd a lot of those righties, and they're going to have to be ready for it. Look for them to be flying open to do the best they can to probably pull balls. He runs into trouble when guys go opposite field. Hopefully the Brewers can find a way to kind of crack that code, because Justin Steele has been outstanding, not just last year, but he's picked up again this year.
Yeah, only lefty in the lineup today is Garrett Mitchell from the Milwaukee Brewers. See if they can take 2 out of 3 against the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. The Brewers got some bad news last night, though. Christian Yelich had to leave the ball game with a stiff back. Sophia Minnaert has an update on the Brewers captain when we come back.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by your local Wisconsin Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Getting ready for afternoon baseball here in Chicago. Wrigley Field should be another great crowd on hand here for Brewers and Cubs. The final game of this season series. The Brewers already wrapped up the season series 7-5. Good afternoon, Sophia Minard here at Wrigley Field, and the Brewers making a pair of roster moves before today's game. And unfortunately, the headliner for them today is that they will be without their all-star Christian Yelich for the second time this season as he lands on the injured list again with a back injury. So here's a look at last night. Christian Yelich in the lineup as the designated hitter. This was his second at-bat of the night in the 6th inning, grounding out to the pitcher and then gingerly running over to first base, clearly not comfortable and running well. He was later pinch hit for by Rhys Hoskins in the 8th inning with what the Brewers said was back tightness, and so he lands on the IL with back inflammation. The second time this season that Yelich has landed on the IL with that injury, and the corresponding move, they do get their catcher back, Gary Sanchez. As expected, he has missed the last 21 games with a left calf injury going back to the end of June. So they're for now carrying 3 catchers on their roster, but again, the headliner is Yelich on the IL for the second time this season. Here's what Pat Murphy had to say about Yelich and the loss for the Brewers with him out.
Yeah, it's a big blow. I mean, obviously, you lose your you know, I don't know if he's leading baseball in hitting or whatever, but he's been an offensive machine, and the attitude he brings, I mean, it's a huge loss. Hopefully we can get him back. He tried like heck to play injured, and it's been going on for a while now, and obviously, hopefully we can get him back.
Murphy talking about the significant loss. Christian Yelich out of the lineup, also his presence in the clubhouse, his leadership, certainly a big blow for the Brewers. There is some concern about the next steps for Yelich. He is scheduled to see a back specialist when the team returns home to Milwaukee and just determine the next steps for his season, both the short term and the long term. So we'll get more information on Yelich and his status and the rest of the season in the next coming days. But we've got a series finale here between the Brewers and the Cubs. They're trying to wrap up the series with a win. We check in with hitting coach Ozzie Timmons on the Brewers offensive production here in the first 100 games of the season. Some of the bright spots, including the rookie, Jackson Chourio. We've got more with Ozzie Timmons coming up next.
All right, our coverage of Brewers baseball in Chicago against the Cubs continues. It's the series finale. Wrigley Field ready to go. Long rain delay yesterday. No rain expected here this afternoon. That is the good news, and hopefully the Brewers offense can get cranked up and get going. Of course, so much improved over the last couple of seasons. They're enjoying offensively a very good season here. Some ups and downs along the way, but Sophia Minard had a chance to catch up with hitting coach Ozzie Timmons, and so far so good, especially the consistent approach at the plate.
The biggest thing is the guys have stuck to the plan of making the pitcher work. Our goal is to try to see as many pitches as we can per batter. And when we do that, we put pressure on the pitcher and force them to make some mistakes. So that's been the biggest key, which leads to us getting on base, which leads to us having a chance to steal bases and put our power hitters in position to drive in runs. And those guys have been doing it. Well, the key to Will is he's actually taking his walks this year. He's not trying to carry the team by himself. And he realized that he has guys around him that can help him do that. So now he's able to take his walks, and the guys behind him are cleaning up also behind him. So it's benefiting the hitters behind him. Then he has Yelly in front of him that's getting him some pitches because Yelly can steal bases. He can score on a double, so the pitcher has to throw a few more fastballs to Willie, and that's been helping him a lot too. But just like I said, it's a whole group, man. Everybody's having solid at-bats throughout the lineup. Like I said, it puts pressure on those pitchers. And when we can get a pitcher out by the 5th inning and get to that bullpen, it sets up the rest of the series. He's done a good job of learning, and he's been working at it, and now he's getting a better understanding. He's learning how to work. So, like now, he does his early work on the field, and he rests his body because he's not used to playing this many games consistently. And we talked about it earlier in spring training, like, can you play 150 games? You're going to have to figure out how to work and prepare. And he's done a good job about it. He's rested his body, and he comes to play, and he's a really good hitter. And for a 20-year-old, he's disciplined. He's not chasing out of the zone. And I was thinking that's surprising a lot of pitchers on the other side of the field.
Really good words there from Ozzie Timmons, especially in Jackson Churio. With Christian Yelich now out for an extended period of time, you go from the one face of the franchise to the next face of the franchise in Jackson Churio, and right now he could not be playing better baseball.
Yeah, and a candidate to replace Yelich in left field for the foreseeable future in Jackson Churio, and he understands what this rivalry start to the second half looks like. How about batting .412 in 2 series against the Minnesota Twins and Chicago Cubs with an OPS over 1? 5 of his 7 hits in the second half coming in Minnesota. All 5 of his RBIs coming in that border battle. His batting average, Craig, is up to .253. That's the highest for Churio since April 15th. And he's batting .306 against the Chicago Cubs. So he understands what it takes at this level. We've seen the consistent, sustained success from Jackson Churio, and it's hard to forget. He's just 20 years old. It's incredible what we've seen out of the rookie so far this season. He's going to get even more of an opportunity now.
Yeah, it is something when you look at this guy and you say, 20 years old, how is this possible? I think you saw the early part of his major league career. Obviously, in April, he took off and then went through that little bit of a slump. But now he seems much more mature, and you got to appreciate how he's handled the game of Major League Baseball. More to come here. First pitch on the way. Game 3, Brewers going for the series win over their rival Chicago Cubs.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Habish, and Rotier, personal injury attorneys, national reputation, hometown service, and by Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Brewers sitting atop the National League Central, 5 games clear of the St. Louis Cardinals. Last game at Wrigley Field, last game between the Brewers and the Cubs in 2024, with Tim Dillard and Sophia Minard, Jeff Levering aboard, and Pat Murphy and his squad trying to take 2 out of 3 against the Cubs and trying to go 4-1 on this road trip to open up the second half. Brewers have already won the season series against Chicago. His starting lineup is brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Got all the righties in there. Only Garrett Mitchell, the lone left-hander. Blake Perkins in the 9th spot. He's a switch hitter. Willie Adames, 3 homers and 9 runs batted in against the Cubs this year. They're going to have their hands full. Justin Steele makes the start for Chicago. 3rd start of the year against the Brewers. Traditionally very tough on Milwaukee hitters.
Yeah, 2014 5th rounder for the Cubs. 2023 All-Star. He finished 5th in the Cy Young. Well, what's he done this year? Missed April to a left hamstring strain, but he's been good. 15 starts, 8 quality starts. 2 of those quality starts coming against Milwaukee. 13 innings pitched, 10 hits. He's only given up 3 runs. Both of those outings in Milwaukee. Now he's on his home turf. Let's see what it looks like for Justin Steele.
Defense behind it, brought to you by Landmark Credit Union.
Got Ian Happ out in left. Mike Tachman is over to center. Seiya Suzuki out in right. Miles Mastroboni, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, Michael Busch, and Tomas Nido will be pushing the buttons for Steele.
Home plate umpire is Ryan Addington. Emil Jimenez is at first. Gabe Morales at second. And the crew chief is Doug Eddings over at third. Partly cloudy skies, wind blowing in off the lake as Joey Ortiz digs in to start this ball game. Fans still trickling in on this Wednesday afternoon, and off we go with strike 1 from Justin Steele.
You're going to see that a lot. You're going to see a lot of strikes. He's used to righties in the lineup. They do bat a little bit better than lefties, but he's going to fill up the zone mainly inside.
Tries that inside corner and missed. Clunker for Steele his last time against Arizona. 5 runs on 9 hits and just 4 2/3 innings. Ortiz in the top spot of the lineup today. 1 for 7 on this series. He's ahead 2-1. Evens things up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher for Steele. Already a souvenir for a fan. A good catch and a big hug. Way to go.
Now it's time for cotton candy and a hot dog.
Game's over. Hit my quota. There's the arsenal for Steele with that fastball slider combination.
Basically, he's just not afraid to pitch inside. It's got a little late cut to it. Think John Lester. I mean, you can even think Wade Miley, the way he lights up righties inside.
He missed in for ball 4, so a leadoff walk on a close pitch. The Brewers have the leadoff man on to start the game, just as they did last night. This one didn't miss by much.
Well, it's that probably the way it was caught from Nito. He wanted it away, had to come all the way across the plate. Unforgiving.
Contreras 1 out of 8 in the series. Swings through a fastball right down the middle. Trying to find his way offensively. It's been a struggle for him for the last 2 months almost, hovering around that 200 mark. And still 284 on the season. Pops it up behind first. Bush makes the play. And see what the Brewers lineup looks like with no Christian Yelich. We heard before the ball game today that Yelich went on the injured list with that bad back. To be determined on how long he will have to miss. But what do the Brewers do in that number 3 spot without Yelich? Down for almost a month early on in the season. Hoskins rips it foul, almost got. Craig Counsell on the top step of the dugout. He's all right.
Comes up smiling. Rhys Hoskins was looking in there, checking.
Knocked him off his perch. Steele steps off, 1 disengagement.
It's interesting. I mean, mainly 2-pitch pitcher and still having trouble getting on the same page this early.
It's fouled away. He threw a changeup. Doesn't throw that pitch very often.
Just 3% of the time. He has not thrown one of those to a left-handed batter all season long. So strictly for the right-handers.
Good take on that slider down and in.
Steele in his 4th season is pitching to his lowest ground ball percentage of his career.
Fouled off of Ryan Addison behind the plate, and that got him flush. Both Tomas Nido and Rhys Hoskins checking on him. Fresh set of baseballs. Checking out his mask.
Might have bent the bill of his cap. Right in the middle.
All right, we're good. Appreciate you taking a couple of moments.
Yeah, it's usually the umpire's job. He goes out and like dusts off home plate, even though home plate's like completely spotless, just to give that breather.
Soft ground ball. Steele can't pick it up, and Ortiz is going to try and get to third, and he'll make it. Heads up base running on an infield single by Rhys Hoskins. Exit velocity of 33 miles an hour.
That was so
strange. It looks like a missile.
I mean, sawed him off, jam. Weird off the mound because Steele being left-handed turns, but I mean, that's just a tough angle on the ball, and for him to fall over at Ortiz, taking full advantage, able to get the third. You're not going to see that very often.
Outstanding heads-up move by Joey Ortiz. Remember the last time Justin Steele faced the Brewers, he gave up 3 runs early and was not helped out by his defense.
He yelled at him.
Yeah, he was not shy as he got back into his own dugout about wanting them to wake up. Steele didn't help himself there. Chance to strike in the first inning. And Adames took the breaking ball for a strike.
That's a tough play, though. I mean,
oh, yeah.
The way he fell off towards third and then I mean, this is one of those angles you never work on in spring training. There's no, hey, we want you to go get this ball that's heading towards second base at 33 miles an hour. As we take a look, you see he does his work, broken bat, and then he realizes I got to turn. And then it takes a funny bump off the bump, tries to barehand it. I don't think he knew he had as much time as he did. Hoskins was running fast, but I think he had time to just bend over it, pick it up good, and do a nice little intermediate toss over to first.
It felt like he was trying to pick it and throw in one motion. Not an easy thing to do for anybody.
Well, we saw Tobias Myers in game one throw the ball in the center field. Probably could have taken just a tick longer to set his feet.
Now Willie Adames draws a walk, and the bases are loaded for Jackson Chourio. And Tommy Hotovy is going to go out. Remember when he landed, by the way, Justin Steele, in trying to make that play on the Hoskins bleeder. Came up and he was stretching his left shoulder a hair. I mean, if you're going to get Steele, you got to get him early. Once he gets into a rhythm, he is awfully tough.
He's tough from Jump Street. First time through the order, batter's only hitting 128. As you can see, the only hit they have is that broken bat that went, what, 70 feet? But the other two runners, those are walks. Those will haunt you, especially when you have a red-hot Jackson Chourio coming to the plate.
Jackson Chourio, 2 hits in the opening in last night's ball game. 0 for in game number 1. So big opportunity for Milwaukee against Steele. Swinging at the first pitch, line drive center field, and it'll be dropped. The Brewers will get 1 out of it. Mike Tauchman trying to make a sliding catch. Jackson Chourio delivers. 1-0 Brewers.
Chourio ambush, swinging on the first pitch. Inside fastball. Shoots it straight away center. This is the right move. Ortiz has to wait just to make sure that Tauchman's not going to come up with it cleanly. Really tough play for a left-hander. And it's hit right at him, and then maybe slices a little bit to his left. Then you got to try to catch it across his body. Either way, that's a knock. Chourio, 41st RBI on the season.
Tauchman's lucky that he made contact with that baseball. He hit him in the knee. Didn't even get a glove on it. Mitchell takes strike 2.
If that gets by him, Chourio may catch up with Hoskins over at third.
Yeah. Mitchell's got 2 strikes against him. Roller towards first. They've got time. They get an out at home, and that's all. Another out at home play for the Brewers in this series. For Mitchell, though, put it in play. Bases remain loaded for Eric Haas, who's played in 1 game since the All-Star break. Hit 2 homers against Minnesota on Sunday.
Hey, great job on the 2 homers. I'm going to need you to sit down over here for 2 full games. He's got 3 homers on the year, just 1 walk.
And takes strike 1, and Steele starting to get dialed in. This was back on Sunday. First home run, they went to left. That drove in a pair. And then this one was the decisive blow. Solo shot in the 8th. Haas is in an 0-2 hole against Justin Steele. Wisconsin Lottery Powerball home runs for Eric Haas. 7 batters have hit against Justin Steele in the first, who has allowed a grand total of 3 earned runs in the first inning. Fouled it back. Haas stays alive. Brewers in this series coming into the game just 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Left the bases loaded twice in the contest in game 1. Swing and a miss. Haas couldn't catch up. Strikeout ends the inning. Brewers strand 3, but they get on the board. Here comes Zastrisny to open it up for the Brewers. Jackson Chourio delivering with the bases loaded to drive in a run. Starting lineup for the Chicago Cubs, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Horner, Bush, Suzuki, Hat, Morel, Swanson, Mike Tauchman, then Tomas Nido makes his first appearance. He's doing the catching, and Miles Mastrobuoni bats 9th. Starting pitcher stats, brought to you by Spectrum. This is Rob Zastrisny. He's yet to allow a hit.
Yeah, the starter running out of the bullpen. This is the 3rd time that he's started a game for the Brewers, just opening up for possibly a Junis or a Wilson. He likes to mix it up. But what he doesn't like is hits. He's not allowed to hit, not allowed to run. He's only allowed 1 walk. He did hit a batter.
Nico Hoerner's found himself on base in 16 straight games. Pulls this one foul, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Two for 5 last night for Nico Hoerner. Was on base in the last inning. Made the final out, as a matter of fact. Oh-2 pitch. Soft ground ball, second base. Monasterio throws him out, 1 away. Defense today behind Zastrisny is brought to you by Hyundai.
Got Chourio out in left. Blake Perkins getting the start in center field. Moves Garrett Mitchell over to right. Around the infield, Ortiz, Adames, Monasterio filling in for Turang to have those righties in the lineup. Hoskins and Eric Haas will be pushing the buttons for the opener. Zastrisny.
There's Monasterio. First pitch ball, Michael Bush. And Blake Perkins making his first start of the road trip. Defense going to be critical today for the Brewers, as it is every day. Maybe the best defensive alignment they can run out there on a day-to-day basis.
I mean, pretty much whoever they put out there is pretty good at defense. Not really losing much. But why not give Turang a day? He's played a lot.
Got the game winner last night.
Well, you know, there's only 1 lefty in the Cubs bullpen. So as soon as they end up in the bullpen, if they can get Justin Steele out of the ballgame, all those guys are going to be rushed out there to pinch hit, possibly.
Got to imagine late in the ball game too. You want Turang's glove in there.
Absolutely. Well, we saw Monasterio come out early. He was doing ground balls. How about Aaron Savali playing first base when they were turning double plays, him and Hoskins?
Dissertation with Wade Miley. That is a foul ball. Great resource to have on your bench. Wade Miley out for the rest of the year with that Tommy John surgery, but you'd never know it the way he is acting on the bench. Another member of the coaching staff. 1-2 to Bush. Fly ball into right center. Perkins gives way to Mitchell. Unintended. But Mitchell makes the catch. Ball's not going to go anywhere out to right today. Wind blowing in off the lake. Communication paramount, however, between the outfielders and infielders.
I think they were both calling it at the same time. A lot of times when you're the one doing the screaming, you can't hear the other person screaming.
Or at least someone caught it. Suzuki fouls it away. One hit in the series for Suzuki. And that's foul, third base line. See how long Zastryzny gives the Brewers today in his start. And Pat Murphy joking before the game, maybe 5 wait batters. That just missed. 1 and 2.
Yeah, he prefaced it with, yeah, we're going to extend him. Yeah, we're going to let him. He's going to go at least 5 batters.
Wonderful comedic timing.
Hey, he was on point today. That was a good pregame scrum.
2-2 on Suzuki. It's not like Craig Counsell has a lot of options in terms of his righties and lefties. He's only got one left-handed batter on the bench. That's Pete Crow Armstrong. So it's going to be a right-handed hitting lineup anyway. Going in on Suzuki. And missed. 3 and 2.
This is the first time Suzuki has played right field in this series. Other 2 times Tauchman was in right, but with Pete Crow Armstrong getting a day, at least for now, that moves Tauchman to center.
3-2 and a base hit into left center. Suzuki will extend the inning as the ball gets hung up in the ivy. It's a double with 2 outs. First hit allowed by Zastryzny all season.
Not a terrible pitch. Cutter away. Suzuki reaches out, kind of hits off the end of the bat, but gets enough on it for it to scoot through the outfield, get all the way to the wall. Flossed it right in between Chourio and Perkins. Perkins shading right center a good bit when Suzuki was in the batter's box.
So here's Ian Happ, who hits from the right side of the plate. And Happ rips and misses. One hit in each of the first 2 games of this series for Happ. Had a base hit right-handed last night. That came off of Koenig. Strike 2.
It's a good pitch. Doesn't use that changeup much. Usually sticks with the cutter, 4-seam sweeper.
Happ has by far the best numbers against the Brewers on the season. He's hit 3 of his 16 home runs this year against the Brewers. Last time these 2 teams play all year. It's crazy. Sprayed it foul. Back-to-back heaters, middle.
Well, if a guy's late on fastball, the last thing you want to do is give him an edge up by throwing something off speed, and then suddenly his timing is there. Also, too, you do want to stay out of the middle of the zone whenever you can.
Let's see where Haas goes. Still nothing in 2. Trying to get on his hands. Better pitch from Zastryzny.
Yeah, that was a good job by Happ, just trying to get any part of the bat on it. That was kind of the theme for Koenig's inning last night. Just every Cubs batter hitting foul ball after foul ball. 12 foul balls in that inning.
Another 0-2 bang foul. For Zastryzny, started his big league career with the Cubs. Originally a 2nd-round pick by Chicago out of Mizzou. Grand total of 18 appearances in a Cubs uniform. Took him 4 years to get back to the big leagues. Emerged in 2022 with the Mets and Angels. Last year at the Pirates briefly. Now the Brewers. Another 0-2. And a ground ball right side. Monasterio Can't get there. Here comes Suzuki, and the game's tied. Broken bat, base hit by Ian Happ, 1-1 game.
That's a changeup that wasn't even going to be a strike. A couple of splinters coming off the bat from Happ. He'll take it as he hits a ball that goes about 110 feet through the 4-hole.
Well, the Brewers used a hit that went roughly 100 feet and 33 miles an hour off the bat to get a run across.
That's true.
So a 1-1 game. And Morel takes a hack and misses.
Very rarely you see a 7-pitch at bat. All are strikes. And the hit comes off a ball off the plate.
Big miss again on that cutter down in the zone. It's 0-2. Bryce Wilson just started loosening. We knew that Wilson was going to be a part of the plan today. Jacob Junis more than likely as well. Oh-2. The two cutters low and fastball up.
Now, if you're looking at this being a bullpen day, pretty much everyone's available. I think you need to stay away from Koenig. 30 pitches yesterday. Yep. I think maybe stay away from Milner. Possibly he pitched game 1 of this through multiple innings. Aside from that, everyone should be good to go.
Strisny, no issues getting ahead. He's been 0-2 to each of the last 2 hitters. Hasn't been able to put them away. And Milner went 2 1/3 innings in game 1. 28th pitch of the inning for Strisny. And Morel popped it up. Monasterio puts it away, and the inning ends. A couple of 2-out hits allowed. We're all square 1-1 as we go to the second.
Season finale between the Brewers and the Cubs, all square at 1 as we head to the second inning. And unfortunately, the Brewers are going to be without Christian Yelich for a while as he landed on the 10-day IL. Second time this season he's going on the IL with a back injury. That was after he had to leave the game last night. 2 at-bats for him as the designated hitter. Had a hard time running to first base, and it's an injury that he's been playing through just over the last week, especially coming out of the break. He's been in there as the DH in 7 consecutive games. He's gone just 1 for 20 at the plate. So obviously physically not feeling like himself. And Yelich very frustrated this morning talking to reporters about the injury coming up for him again the second time. So the plan for him is to see a back specialist when the team returns home in Milwaukee, figure out some next steps, and admitted he's got to determine what's right for him and for the team in the short term and also for the long term for his career. So we'll get more information on Yelich after that appointment with the back specialist, what that means for his timeline and how long he should be out. But certainly a big blow. Pat Murphy spoke about that this morning, guys, when we talked to him before the game. It's tough to replace Yelich in the lineup. Just his offensive production, leading the National League with a .315 average. The OPS for him, .910. And, of course, just his presence in the lineup, offensively, defensively, and in the clubhouse. So they'll be without Yelich for at least a little while.
Tough guy to replace, to say the least. Thanks so much, Sophia. Can you do it collectively with a number of players? You hope so. Monasterio out to right, and in the tracks of Suzuki for out number 1. They did it for about a month, April and into the beginning part of May, but you'd love to not have to do that for a long amount of time for Christian Yelich.
Well, I mean, when he's healthy, we saw what he's able to do. And I think a lot of times when you hear someone's going on the IL, you think, oh, it must have just happened. I mean, he was playing through it hurt. That means he was trying to see where he was at, feeling it out each day, seeing it, hey, can I wake up? What's it going to be? Is it going to be better? And clearly they tried it enough times where it goes, you know what, it's not getting any better if I keep staying in the lineup. So they're doing what's best, and hopefully they can get him back.
Pops it up shallow center. In comes Tauchman. 2 quick outs for Steele in the second inning. Back to the top of the order, and Joey Ortiz. Bryce Trang just being a sponge today, talking with Wade Miley, now chatting it up with Christian Yelich.
Probably nervous energy. I'm usually playing. What do I do? Well, talk to some guys that have been around a while.
Now you wonder how long it has been bothering Christian. Just the numbers haven't been there for really the last couple of weeks, even going into the break. He's a gamer. He wants to be in there. He knows his spot on the roster is valuable. So the Brewers, again, you mentioned Gary Sanchez in. They've got 3 catchers. You got Sanchez bat available late in the ball game as a DH. What Haas has provided behind the plate and at the plate has been critical.
Yeah, you knew Sanchez was coming back, but what Eric Haas has put together, you're going, really? After the spring training he had, he doesn't make the club. Then he gets here, plays sparingly, does amazing. And now it's like he still can't find a spot. I'm glad they're keeping 3 guys.
Ortiz out to Tauchman. The final out of the inning. Hit it hard, but right at Tauchman. Grab 3 down, go the Brewers in the second.
Your first rounds on the Brewers through tonight only. Grab a select game ticket and get $15 to use on a beer or any concession item. Starting at $25 total, secure a ticket and enjoy ballpark favorites at brewers.com/flash sale.
Valley Sports Wisconsin truck engineer Scott taking this one in with his son. A lot of Brewers fans out there today. Saw that straw hat out in the bleachers. That's a good hat for a day like today. Strizny out for another inning of work. 28 pitch, bottom of the first, after he got 2 quick outs, grinding his way through Suzuki, Happ, and then Morrell. Swanson starting to find his swing. Good thing the Brewers are getting out of town.
Yeah, you almost for sure thought that Wilson would be coming in after that inning was over. I'm going to need that hat.
Down and in on a cutter. Check the swing, didn't go. The hat or the jumper?
There's a lot going on here.
You got the real hot dog. Their ratio is wrong, though. I feel like he's got to be in the middle of the 5. Swing and a miss. Right? If you got one guy who's dressed like a hot dog and everybody else is wearing rompers with hot dogs on them, doesn't the actual hot dog have to go in the middle?
I mean, hey, if you're a hot dog. Yeah, I finally got out to see the Harry Carey statue in the center. It's pretty awesome.
Say hi to the youngsters that were under him. In the statue?
No.
They're weird. It's a creepy statue, man. Towards third. It's a fair ball. Ortiz. That's going to be a really hard play with the way Swanson runs. Leadoff single starts this bottom of the second inning. Another infield hit for Swanson, his 3rd in the series.
Well, one thing that's apparent is Swanson, trying to get back on track, is trying to hit the ball on the ground. Look at the swing. Everything he's been hitting has been pounded right in front of the home plate. This one's enough down the line. Ortiz gets behind it, but has to field it in the grass.
Well, Mike Tauchman hits. Maybe the last batter for Strizny. And a liner foul left side. Bryce Wilson ready again in that Brewers bullpen. Toss to first has Swanson back. Tauchman fought that one off. 0-2. 2 out of 13 on this homestand for Tauchman. And time called, and we'll have a pitch timer violation on Zastryzny, who almost beat the timer. Not quite.
I think he was a little distracted. Swanson dancing off at first, trying to draw a throw or draw looks.
Cubs doing what they do, fouling balls off. Did it a ton yesterday.
You got a feel for the clubbies and bat boys having to rub up all these baseballs. But good for the fans. They get souvenirs.
1-2. Line drive, base hit. So back-to-back singles opens up the bottom of the second inning for Chicago, and here comes Pat Murphy. That was a cutter that was about shin high. Good piece of hitting from Tauchman. Day is done for Zastryzny. 1+. A run on 4 hits and responsible for the 2 runners that are on base. Bryce Wilson will be the bulk guy today. And Wilson's coming in. One ball game, bottom of the second. 2 men on for Chicago, and our Gruber Law Office's one call. That's all called. The pen brings in Bryce Wilson. Such a luxury to have him back in the bullpen. Can eat some innings for you and get himself into a bit of a mess with Tomas Nido coming up. Those are the numbers for Wilson this year.
Last pitched on Sunday in Minnesota. Toss a scoreless 6th inning. But yeah, 9 starts. They had him built up. If they call on him to throw the bulk of this game, what we're going to see is some variant on the fastball. Almost 80% of the time, it's going to be a cutter, a sinker, or a 4-seamer. He's been mixing the curveball a lot lately, too.
Nido bunts. Wilson's got it. And he'll flip to first. A sacrifice from Tomas Nido. Puts runners to second and third.
Well, the Cubs don't sack a lot, but that's the 10th sack bunt on the season.
That's the old let's stay out of a double play move with your catcher at the plate.
Absolutely.
Now you got Mastrobuoni. There's the arsenal for Wilson. The variant of the fastball, as Tim mentioned. Left side is up for Mastrobuoni, who fouls it away. You got the right side of the infield back. Left side is up. He's trying to pull the ball to the right side. It's 0-2.
I mean, absolutely. You pull the ball to the right side and your team's got the lead. In this situation, in this defensive alignment, your job as a pitcher is to step off, look around, make sure you understand where everyone's playing and what the hitter's trying to do.
Good pitch. 1-2.
Great call. Change up away.
Struck him out. Huge second out of the inning.
A cutter, but coming after that changeup, he thought away was enough off of a 4-seam fastball, perhaps. I don't know what he was looking for, just trying to pull no matter what. That's a big out.
Nico Horner squares and pulls it back. Ball 1.
Cutter's moving a lot today for Wilson. You can see it right there.
Horner pops it up. Monasterio with the wind blowing. It's Mitchell coming in with a basket catch to end the inning. Don't take your eyes off a ball in the air today with that wind blowing in off the lake. Wilson inherits 2, strands 2. 1-1 ball game as we go to the third. That's the direction the wind's blown. So let's take a look at our StatCast. Powered by Google Cloud. Wind speed by height. The higher you hit it, the more it's going to get affected. Today's a good day to keep the ball on the ground. Feels like an April kind of game.
Swing down on it.
Contreras lifts down the left field line. Foul. See, that thing parachute its way back in. And Justin Steele struggled in the first. No issues in the second. And that one hurt Tomas Nido. Maybe a forearm shot on the block. That doesn't feel good.
Finally gets a start behind the dish in this series. Called upon to sack bunt. Immediately takes one off the arm.
Just chew on that chin pad. Swing and a miss. Carved him up. Second strikeout for Justin Steele.
Down and in. Fastball's nasty. Listen, all of these right-handed hitters know what to expect from Justin Steele. They've seen him enough. There's enough data out on him. They walk up there knowing they're going to see this fastball in, but hitting it is two different things. If he knows you're going to cheat to it, that's when you start seeing the slider. Now guys are opening up and they're swinging over top of a slider. So they're forced to stay in as long as they can, but with that late cut on the fastball, he's just right in their wheelhouses.
Got the call there. It's 0-2. Hoskins didn't like it, and even though Nido was reaching across his body, he still got the strike. Tough one for an umpire to see. Almost guessing.
That was one of the big things when umpires years ago started shading the hitter. If the right-hander's up, he's more behind the right-handed batter, and lefty vice versa. And then suddenly you find yourself doing really well on the corners in, and then you have to guess away. At least that's what a lot of pitchers and batters think.
It's down and away. Went to the changeup. He's throwing that changeup more often today. A couple times at least.
Yeah, maybe something about last time out for him against Arizona. Maybe he kind of was like, you know, I got to change a little something. Start adding more elements of that curveball, that changeup, because there's games that we've seen where it's just been 95% heaters and sliders.
He's a lot like Freddie Peralta to where he can vary his fastball velocities as well. We've seen an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. We've also seen 94. What he did against the D-backs last time. Hoskins pops it up. Wind is pushing it. Mastrobuoni's there. 2 away. Willie Adames coming up. Wisconsin Lottery Powerball home run leaderboard has Adames at the top. It is 16th in game 1, the only run the Brewers had. They scored twice in this series. Drew a walk in the first at Adames. And he fouls it into the glove of Nido with another changeup. And Steele really has been difficult for the Brewers to figure out. There goes Adames out to left center, but not today. Tauchman makes the catch on the warning track. Any other day, that ball's in the bleachers. Not with the wind blowing in. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, a new era of sports betting. And sponsored in part by Northwestern Mutual, the official financial planning partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Back at Wrigley with the wind blowing in. First pitch strike that somehow caught the corner on Bush. Check out those edges. They're starting to expand. 1-1 game. Each team scoring in the first. Bush flying out to right field his first time up. 2 out of 7 in the series now. And that's a stolen strike. 1-2. Bryce Wilson in this bulk role has not allowed one of his inherited runners to score. 3 times he's done it and inherited a runner. 1-2. Line foul.
Yeah, great job in the bottom of the second inning. Comes in 2 on, nobody out. Sack bunt on 1 pitch, a strikeout on 4 pitches. Horner pops up on 2, 7 pitches, gets out of a jam.
Serves it foul again. Late on the fastball is Bush, looking for something different. Middle of the order for Chicago due up in this third. Spun out of it. 2-2. Haas going away. Needled the corner. Strike 3 called. Second K for Bryce Wilson. Let's go downstairs to Sophia, who's got more on Bryce.
Yeah, over the break, Bryce Wilson, like a lot of guys, took a break from throwing. But one of the things he did do was play catch, and that was with the football with his younger brother, Peyton Wilson, who is getting ready for training camp for his rookie season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is something that we see Bryce do a lot. Almost every day he'll take a football out just to help him get loose. And he said, you know, just because with throwing a football, it's a shorter arm path. It's a heavier ball, obviously, than a baseball. So he gets a different range of motion. It's a full range of motion, as he says, just with that throwing movement. So he said it's something that he started doing back in 2022 just as a way to get loose, a different way to get his body ready. And then when he changed his mechanics a little bit, changed his release point when he joined the Brewers last year, just found something that it just helps him get into a good spot to get ready to come into pitch and get on the mound. So hey, why not have a football catch with your brother, who's going to be an NFL linebacker? Might as well.
Yeah, no doubt. He's got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields that he's going to have to try and defend in training camp. That's Peyton Wilson. Tell you, Bryce can throw a dime with a football, too. Good football player himself. As Suzuki hits one to the left. And into the teeth of the wind, Suzuki gives the Cubs the lead. '14th home run of the year, got ahead. That was a 3-0 swing.
Got a sinker, middle end. Suzuki opens up, sends number 14 out the left. So quick with the hips coming through the zone. It takes a pretty good knock to get one out. But he kept it low. Higher it gone, maybe it stays in the ballpark, but line shot.
Saw that with Willie's ball last half inning. First pitch strike as Wilson gives up the solo homer. So the Brewers chasing one. Been traffic all game long for Chicago on the base paths. Broken back ground ball is short. 2 broken bats. This one did not result in a hit for Happ as the barrel is picked up by Wilson on the mound.
Maybe he actually grabbed the same bat from last time. Either way, it's always kind of cool. If you break a guy's bat, number one, you got to look out. Number 2, when you pick it up, maybe get a little pine tar from that bat. Maybe you just get it on your hand for a couple pitches. There you go.
Really interesting the way that Wilson picked that ball up. He made sure to get out towards the barrel, too. So they didn't have anything on his hand. Morrell takes high. And they check you every half inning anyway.
Yeah.
For Suzuki, that solo home run, he's scored both runs. It's his first ever homer on a 3-0 pitch. Seen some 3-0 swings in this series from both teams. And big swings.
3-0 bunt. Big swings and small swings.
How many times do you think somebody's bunted on 3-0, Tim?
I was in the meeting today, so I've heard. I would have guessed. I couldn't even think of a time. Had never really heard of it. But sometimes you're in the moment, you know you're going to get a strike.
We were told that the last time it happened was last year. Corbin Carroll of the Diamondbacks against Brent Suter, then of the Rockies.
Well, you knew something had to be a little different.
A swing and a miss by Morel as he chased, and Wilson gets out of it. A couple of Ks, but a solo homer from Seiya Suzuki gives the Cubs the lead. Game reset brought to you by Aurora Healthcare. Jackson Churio's driven in the only run for the Brewers. Part of a run-scoring first inning and featured a couple of hits. Faces Steele again and takes low for ball one.
Churio 8 for 18 on this road trip. Amazing his growth from opening day till now. It's been special to watch.
It's a totally different guy. Batting average entering play today, 253. Fouled away, but it's the homers, the runs batted in, the approach from Jackson Chourio, and even his defense. He's playing a lot more free in the outfield.
I mean, they knew they were going to see growth. They knew he was going to get a lot of experience. You got to think they were probably a little excited that it happened this fast. I don't want to use the word surprise because we know what a talent he is. But the big leagues is hard, and what he's been doing the last 40 or so games is not easy.
To short, Swanson throws out Chourio. Steele is settled in. Brewers have not had a base runner since the first. That's what he does. Brewers had an opportunity to really get him. Bases loaded, only one out. Only surrendered the one run. He's found his rhythm. There's Garrett Mitchell. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes high. It's so fun watching the defense after a Brewers batter squares to bunt. The amount of communication that goes on.
Well, they're trying to disrupt everything. Make a pitcher feel uncomfortable, open up holes.
To first base, that's a fair ball. Easy play for Bush. Time to play fully. It's brought to you by Aurora Healthcare. Highest OPS as a catcher this month, and you got to put the qualifier minimum of 20 plate appearances. Haven't been a lot for Haas, but he's right up there with the best. Number one, 1,300 OPS, 3 homers. And good in a Brewers uniform. Don't take anything away from what he's done behind the plate, too.
He's been good. I think looking at that thing just shows that he's taken advantage of not a lot of playing time. And you pop a couple of homers in a game and you don't play for 2 days. You start to wonder, and then it's like, okay, now be sharp again. I've seen the same thing with Monasterio. Like there's several times he's had some really good games and then he doesn't play for like a week. You know, maybe a pinch hit here and there. When these guys get their chance, I mean, they really have to step up. And for the most part, that's exactly what they've been doing.
Haas is now ahead in the count 3-0. Pat Murphy talked about it yesterday with regards to Garrett Mitchell. Sometimes you just got to run him out there, let him play, get his feet underneath him. Other guys, it's easier for them to play once every 3 days or 4 days and then get back into a rhythm quickly. Others not so much. Got to be in there every day, get your at-bats. 3-2 on Haas.
And I think Garrett Mitchell in particular is still making up. Missed a lot of time trying to get more at bats under his belt. And we see it too. First couple at bats maybe a little off, and then suddenly connect, and you see the double. You see the ball on the ground. You see the foot speed. It's coming. He's buffering right now.
Fouled away again by Haas. And a BB into left for a base hit for Haas. He got the hands through. Have you ever grabbed one of his bats, by the way, Tim? It's not just a bat. It is a piece of lumber.
I mean, look at the lumberjack beard. I respect it. I don't know. I mean, you're easier to grab somebody's bat than put your fingers in their glove, but I haven't checked it out. But what I do see is he got on top. I think he knew he was going to see a heater in. And if you try to meet it while it's there, you're going to pop it up. You're going to get under it. And I think he made sure he got on top, especially in the conditions right now. You're not really going to get on top and drive out too many. It's a good piece of hitting by Eric Haas.
Extends the inning to Andrew Monasterio. I asked before I grabbed his bat, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't insinuating that you were like, I'm just going around just grabbing people's equipment out of their lockers.
Let's give it a test run. Monasterio fouls it away.
Walking around with Gary Sanchez's spikes.
There's full catcher's gear, actually, on the bus. It's amazing. Well, Steele's at 70 pitches, 3 2/3 in. Toss to first, has Haas back. Do it again. Sooner you can get into that Cubs bullpen, that's a good thing. Now, their bullpen's been good. We've talked about it over the course of the last 2 days. It just means you don't have to face Justin Steele, who has been so tough on the Brewers.
Pretty much every starter they've run out there has been tough on the Brewers.
Monasterio into shallow left. The ball being pushed all the way back almost into the infield dirt. Base hit is all for the Brewers. 2-1 Cubs out in the neighborhoods in North Chicago. Well, Thursday, July 25th at the Pabst Theater, join Bally Sports for the Christian Yelich Home Plate Charity Concert featuring Scotty McCreery, Charlie Behrens, and more. For tickets, go to visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich. First pitch strike on Dansby Swanson. Yelich landing on the injured list before the game today with that bad back. Swanson into center. Perkins. Smooth. One away. Hit it hard, but not today. Again, this is a day to keep the ball on the ground. Another big crowd at Wrigley. I love the drone. We've had the access to the drone the last couple of days.
So good.
Such a cool shot. Do you have much experience flying a drone, by the way, Tim?
I crashed a couple. One time we got some free, and I remember John Axford flew one through the Brewers clubhouse.
Ooh. To second base, Monasterio. How'd that work out?
Yeah, he had it hooked up to the iPad. This was probably 2011 or 12. Hooked it up to his iPad, was able to control it, and went down the hallway, like past the training room, by the weight room, and then came back all the way. He went all the way around.
Wow.
It was
That's
kind of
very
cool.
impressive.
Yeah, it was good.
And were you watching it the entire time on the iPad?
Yeah. I think I was the one that went and followed it around just to make sure it didn't wreak any havoc on anyone.
Didn't clip somebody coming out of the bathroom or something?
Yeah. It was there was a time where we would fly planes around in the dome and things like that. Now you got to be licensed and
Yeah.
watch out for other people. A lot of regulations. But I've enjoyed the drone at the All-Star game. Some of the shots they had, incredible.
Nito to center. Sends Perkins back. He's there up against the ivy to make the catch. Again, any other day, it's 3-1 Chicago. Instead, Perkins makes the play. And it's 2-1 as we head to the fifth.
Top of the fifth, Cubs up by 1. Hey, Brewers fans, stream every out-of-market game live or on demand with an MLB TV subscription. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
A lot of Brewers fans down in Chicago today. Blake Perkins made that nice catch last half inning, leads it off against Steele. Just his first start post All-Star break for Perkins. Tim, those guys are after your heart with those beards.
They just go hang out there. Yeah, that's what you do when you're thinking about beards.
Perkins fouls it away right side. Look at that froth. Awesome.
Don't get that thing near a drone.
No, that's a hazard. How long do you think it took him to grow that?
Probably a while.
Yeah?
You got to really dedicate when it comes to a beard. I would say 12 to 18 months.
Perkins shoots it foul. Take me 12 to 18 decades to do that.
You'll never have a chance.
No, I'll
never.
Ground ball left side, base hit. Perkins leads off with a knock. Get some speed aboard. And back to the top of the order for a third time against Steele.
Do something good in the field. Do something good at the plate. Heater in. I think he took the approach a little bit like Haas did. Just be quick to it. Make sure you hit it on the ground. Sneaks it through the 6-hole out in the left. Brewers have their leadoff man for the second time in the ballgame.
4 singles for the Brewers. Strike right on the corner. Line out to center for Ortiz last time. He's also drawn a walk and scored. Toss to first. Brewers have been one of the most aggressive running teams in baseball. Teams are 6 of 7 being successful at stolen bases against Steele. Ortiz trying to go the other way. He's in an 0-2 hole. And strike 3 called. That was not a strike.
Well, we've seen the strike zone expand pretty much from the first inning. But this is about a ball and a half off the plate away. I think Ortiz knows it, but there's nothing you can do about it.
Contreras 0 for 2, pop up and a strikeout. Same spot, and the strike. That is getting even further outside.
Well, why not? I mean, as a pitcher, if you're given a cookie, just keep throwing it there. I mean, that's a gift. You got to keep it. And keep doing it.
There goes Perkins. Throw to second base. Ow! Wow. Perkins, I think, is asking about Nico Hoerner and where his foot was set up, not giving Perkins an opportunity to get to the bag. I mean, did you see how far he had to reach to get to the backside of the bag? Pat Murphy is saying no challenge, and they're trying to say that the obstruction call is not challengeable. You cannot challenge obstruction. Let's watch the foot of Nico Hoerner. Yep, that is obstruction. 100%. That's what they're trying to get out of the game. Wow. Boy, did the Cubs just catch a break. That's a bad call.
I mean, again, going back to yesterday, how much TV time did Pat Murphy get just having to go to the replay? An excessive amount of times.
Well, that's a bad break because Perkins had that bag stolen. His hand got caught on the foot of Nico Hoerner. That's what they're trying to get out of the game. Cubs catch a break. There's ball 4 on Contreras. Again, watch the foot of Hoerner. It's right in front of the bag.
I mean, this is something that they called in spring training nonstop. I mean, puts it right in the path of Perkins' hand up. That's the kind of thing you'd break your finger on, and you're really not expecting anymore because spring training, they tried to get it to everybody. Hey, this is going to be called all the time. But clearly not. He's going to look on the iPad, and he's going to point to it. But just like that strike 3 call on Ortiz, there's just not much you can do. What are you going to do?
The second base umpire is looking right at it. It's unfortunate. A 2-out walk. A third walk by Steele. Hoskins takes a strike on the corner. Yeah, we saw way more egregious obstruction calls, and less egregious, I should say, as Hoskins pops it up. Swanson makes the catch, and the inning's over. Contreras didn't know how many outs there were. It doesn't matter. Halfway home, it's 2-1 Chicago. Thursday night, set your compass due north. Due North Outdoors. Watch it tomorrow night, 6 p.m. on Valley Sports. As Mastroboni takes a strike. Long conversation with Pat Murphy and Ryan Addington, the home plate umpire, in between innings. Just going over, I'm sure, what had transpired at second base. A diplomatic conversation. Mastroboni out to left. Churio out number 1. And nothing transpired from it, but just conversations. Yep, can't challenge it. I see your point, Murph. I get it. Nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, that's the blank stare with the blink. You're like, yeah, I feel for you. They put the system in place to get reviewed, yet something that's as obvious as that's you can't do that. We're not going to review that. So you just you're left there with your palms up going, well, then what?
And still talking about it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, here's the play in question. Watch the foot of Nico Hoerner. That is right in the middle of the running path and obstructing the base. Supposed to be a no-no.
No, we were talking about this in between breaks. Glad Perkins' hand is okay. I mean, he didn't have the oven mitt on and crashes right into the foot.
Well, the other solution is a as a runner, you go in foot first. Middle infielder's not going to do that anytime soon. That's broken back, ground ball to third. Ortiz. Slick play. Wow, great transfer from glove to hand. That's such a hard play.
Absolutely smooth by Ortiz. This is a jam job. Ortiz comes in, and we saw this transfer a lot early on in the season. This is what helped solidify, of course, the bat as well, but solidify him at third base, where he's able to run in and make that play.
So T-Mobile coverage cam on that great play by Ortiz, and still able to get a throw across over 70 miles an hour with no legs under it. Ball and a strike on Bush. Wilson came in the second with 2 on and nobody out. He's given up just a run. There's a strike. Economical with his pitches too.
Well, after a kind of a long first inning, and then the bottom of the second was long as well. The fourth was a good one. Just 8 pitches for Wilson to get through 6, 7, 8.
He's given up 1 run on 1 hit. Solo homer by Suzuki. That's the difference in the game. Suzuki's on deck. This is Wilson's second appearance against the Cubs this year. And Bush to center. There's Perkins. The inning's over. 3 up, 3 down. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin is presented by Aurora Healthcare. Good day to be out on the lake. Very few clouds. Temperatures in the low 70s. Great day. Willie Adames took a big rip, came up empty, 0-1. There's Jacob Junis getting ready. Off the end of the bat, shallow right. And the base hit. All right, that'll do. Leadoff knock. Willie Adames on base for a second time.
Started off just like the top of the 5th with a Brewers base hit. I'm not sure Seiya Suzuki saw it very well, very late moving after it, but sometimes those little dying quails find some turf. Great job by Willie Adames.
Well, Jackson Churios hit the ball hard twice. A single, a ground out, and he's got another single. First 2 are on for the Brewers. We'll see how Brewers baseball fun time begins with Garrett Mitchell.
Churio just gripping it and ripping it. Now 9 for 20 on this road trip. Heater in. Just pulls the hands in. Just out of the reach of Dansby Swanson. Not sure what he would do with it. Probably had no chance at Adames at second. But they're going to talk it out.
Tommy Hotovy out of the dugout. Chat with Justin Steele is at 92 pitches. Mark Leiter Jr. on the left. Tyson Miller on the right. Bottom part of the order for the Brewers. Remember, they've got all their lefties with the exception of Gary Sanchez available. Churio has driven in the only run for the Brewers. A reminder for every Brewers RBI, Northwestern Mutual is funding 5 hours of childhood cancer research. The corners are up. Expecting a possible bunt from Garrett Mitchell. The 0 for 2. Squares, lays it down, foul.
Something the Brewers have been doing a lot lately is bunting. Some executed, some not. Either way, it's on every team's radar now, and to the end of the season for sure.
So you got Bush crashing at first. His bunt's got to go up the third baseline.
Better be careful for a slash. Well, we saw in last night's ball game that bunt that was not up very long. Bush was able to come in and snag it out of the air.
And he takes outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. I love the slash call. Steele, who's around the zone.
Well, it used to be if a coach gave you the bunt sign and corners were crashing on you, you just pull back and light them up. Pitchers, back when we used to hit, that's one of the things we worked on. Hey, you lousy pitcher, we know you can bunt. Now it's time to pretend to bunt.
Mitchell's in a 3-1 count. And he fouled it away. He had a cookie to hit, too. 3-2. Strike 3 called. Could not pull the trigger. Just the 4th strikeout for Steele, and here comes Craig Counsell to make a move.
Now the 6th pitch. Freeze frame. Seen a lot from Steele, but he's gone.
5 1/3 innings from Justin Steele. Bullpens coming in. Tyson Miller. Beer Snake off and running out in the bleachers. It has made its way to our hot dog rompers. We're going to have a pinch hitter as Jake Bowers is going to come off the bench and hit for Eric Haas. And he'll get Tyson Miller. 32nd appearance for him. Miller pitched in the opener of the series.
Yeah, threw an inning, gave up a hit, had a strikeout, got a hold. But only 3 runs in his last 16 games. Has 14 strikeouts. Big extension guy. Huge chase. In the situation with guys on base, he's the guy to come in, try to get players to swing out of the zone.
First lefty used by Pat Murphy today. Comes in the 6th. Tying run at 2nd. Bowers swings and misses. He's been one of his key pinch hitters. Steele 5 1/3 innings. Shortest start of the year against the Brewers. Made him work. 0-2. Bowers 1 for 4 last night. Scored the only run of the game. A base hit against Tyone. Scored on the Terang single. Flair, shallow center, base hit. Adames had to hold, make sure nothing crazy happens, so the bases are loaded on a pinch hit single by Bowers. Put the ball in play, good things happen. And we're going to get a pinch hitter now as well. And Bryce Terang off the bench, he'll hit for Monasterio.
Well, the first guy off the bench worked. Bowers 0-2 pitch. Gets a thumber, able to dump it out in the center field. I mean, that's a dangerous place to put it, 0-2, just where a guy that likes to pull the ball gets enough of it into center field. Adames, yes, had to freeze.
Bases loaded for the Brewers. Seen this story a number of times in this series. And Terang, a foul ball. See the career numbers there for Bryce Terang. 214 in his time as a big leaguer. The base is full. Foul back. He's in an 0-2 hole. Take a ball in a gap or down a line. That'd be fun. The Brewers do not have an extra base hit save for their 7 grand slams with the bases loaded. Singles and slams. Almost hit him.
That's the first pitch out of Miller's hand that the Brewers batter hasn't swung at. That's the sweeper. That's new to Miller, and it's been successful for him.
Check swing. Didn't go.
Coming off that sweeper, this sucker looks harder than 88. Don't think he went. Terang really heavy on that front side too.
Terang off the end of the bat, foul. Threw a changeup on that pitch. Very rare changeup used by Tyson Miller. Huge at bat, tying run at third base. 3-2. Bottom of the order trying to come up clutch. Double play depth up the middle for Chicago. And a base hit to right. 1 run's in. Chourio held, and the Brewers have tied the game. Back-to-back pinch hit base hits by the lefties.
A full count sweeper that's well above the zone. Short and quick. Bryce Terang ties this ball game. Start seeing a lot of pitches out of the hand of Miller, and then suddenly you get something slow enough at the top of the zone that you just react to it. Able to get it on the ground through the hole into right. Brewers playing it safe. Still got bases loaded.
Perkins at the plate. Wheels are in motion for the Brewers right now. You got good speed all over the place on the base paths. Corners are up for Chicago. And it's 2-0.
This is one of those big moments too that I felt like watching the last several games when they're unable to score runs with bases loaded. There was too many quick outs. Guys were swinging. They were just getting out. It's really tough to do as Perkins, who hadn't had a lot of playing time lately, to be patient.
Took a rip at that sweeper on 2-0. Back to back, it's 2-2. Base hit his last time for Perkins. It came from the right side of the plate. 4 hits in the inning. 1 run is scored. Off the end of the bat, it's a fair ball. They're going to go home out there.
That's actually a really good play by Miles Masterboni. This is triple up sweeper from Miller to Perkins. Found it. Cues it off the end of the bat a little bit. That side spin, that's tough to field. You got to get all the way in front of it. Squares the shoulders. Perkins too fast to double up, but if he gets lazy trying to field that, it's going to kick off of him and go towards the dugout.
Jackson Chourio with a very good base running move. He almost got hit with that throw from Mastroboni.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
You teach it. So now it's Ortiz. doubled off of Tyson Miller in game 1. Takes a good sweeper for a strike.
And he's found that sweeper, locating 3 really good ones on Perkins. And when you feel good, next batter comes up. It's just an extension of what you've already been doing.
Ortiz in an 0-2 hole. The Brewers have come back to tie it. 7th man to hit in the inning is Ortiz. Wow, 2-2. It's been there for a lot of the day.
It has. On fastballs. So you think this one sweeping away. Good take by Ortiz, but got rung up last time on it.
Now Ortiz out towards right. Suzuki with a play on the track. Inning over. Brewers tied up on the base hit by Bryce Terang. Bottom of the 6th on the way. All square. 2-2. Two ball game from the friendly confines. Game that belongs to the bullpens now. Brewers making a move as Jacob Junis takes over. Get the middle of the order starting with Seiya Suzuki. His 9th overall appearance, 8th out of the bullpen.
He pitched on Saturday in Minnesota. That was a 12-inning game. He threw 2 of those, gave up a couple of hits, 1 earned run, also struck out a batter.
Opens up Suzuki with a slider. Saw Bryce Terang stays in the game at second base. Gary Sanchez is doing the catching. Suzuki responsible for both runs. Double and a run scored in the first, and then he homered in the 3rd. Good day of work for Bryce Wilson. 4 innings, just 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Cubs bullpen's moving. Porter Hodge to center for Blake Perkins. 1 away. Suzuki's locking in that stroke.
Good time to get out of town as well. You can see a lot of sliders out of Junis. Throws it 44% of the time. Just 40% of the time is going to be a sinker. Mixes in changeup and 4-seam as well. That slider's pretty good. Batter's just hitting .212 against it.
There's a slider to Happ. Strike 1. RBI single for Happ. He's also grounded out. Both from the one from the right side, one from the left side. He's broken 2 bats already today too. Wind has shifted. Was blowing in from left center for the majority of the game. Now blowing in from right. Swing and a miss. Wild cut. And I think Sanchez may have got some of the bat. Back to work, Jacob Junis. Ground ball to second. Terang bobbles, picks it up, and throws him out. No panic. Christopher Morel coming up, but first, a quick message from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Pop up and a strikeout from Morel. Swing and a miss. Slider so good for Jacob Junis.
So much fun to watch too. It's like a video game. Look at it. And he'll throw it in any count. Lefty, righty, ahead, behind.
then paints the corner. 1-2. That first slider, 2,400 RPMs. That's moving. 1-2. Full boat on Morrell with Swanson on deck. Check swing, didn't go. Ball 4. So a 2-out walk opens the door. It's the first base runner for Chicago since the 3rd inning when Suzuki hit the homer. Dansby Swanson, who's been squaring the ball up in this series. It's unfortunate. You had 1 ball and 2 strikes on Morrell. Free swinger. Couldn't put him away.
I go back to the fastball, pitch number 5 that was off the plate that he'd probably want back. Do enough work with the slider, guys start kind of tilting a little bit, saying, okay, I got to get to it, and then suddenly the fastball is easier to sneak by.
Falls behind Swanson. Ground ball to short. Get the easy out at second base. Junis puts up a 0 in the 6th. Contreras, Hoskins, and Adames on the way for the Brewers offense.
Today's Tavern of the Game winner is North End Pub and Grill in Cochrane. If the Tavern calls the Milwaukee Brewers by 10 a.m. tomorrow, they will receive 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer is courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Mallory Reeland sighting out in the friendly confines as Porter Hodge takes over for Chicago. He's got the middle of the Brewers order. Second appearance for Hodge in this series. Behind 2-0.
He's one that pitched in game 1, gave up the home run to Willie Adames. Features the 4-seam fastball at 95 plus and that sweeper like everybody has now. Tell you what, that's a great inning by Jacob Junis. Works fast. Threw 17 pitches, but just working fast. Feels like, hey, that turnaround was good. They had a lot of momentum last inning. They get him in the dugout, right back out, 2-3-4 up for the Brewers.
The Brewers have not had consistent shutdown innings, it feels like, recently. It's good to get out there, put up that 0 after your offense just grinded out a run.
Yeah.
That's ball 4. Leadoff man is on. Third straight inning for the Brewers. Before Hoskins hits, a quick word from Aurora Healthcare.
This is how it feels to have a complete health partner who cares for all of you so you can live powerfully, live joyfully, and live fully.
Base hit, 2 pop-ups for Rhys Hoskins. Look out, almost got him in the shoulder. And Tomas Nido runs out. Not sure what they're looking at. They're in center field. He and Ryan Addington having a conversation. One and 0 on Hoskins. Go ahead run on base to start this 7th. Tough way to live when you're falling behind 2-0 on everybody.
Well, Porter Hodge has been part of this really good Cubs resurgence out of the bullpen the last month and a half. That was just his 6th walk to a right-handed batter this season. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, just 8 on the year.
He's locked in the sweeper. The last 2 have been good. chased the heater away. Strikeout. One away for Adames, who hit the homer off of Hodge in the contest on Monday. Different environment today. Tried to double up on hitting homers off of Hodge. It was the first home run he had allowed this year.
This is what Hodge was trying to do against Hoskins, but he missed with the sweepers. Throw a bunch of sweepers early. It's going to make your fastball that much better. Once he finally found the zone with it, that's why he was able to put Hoskins away with the fastball. You think at some point he may try to blow away Adames with one.
Tried to there, fouled it back, and Willie took a deep exhale after fouling it away. Token look over at Contreras, more just to get his strength back to 100 for Hodge. Got him. Back-to-back Ks. Sets up a date with Jackson Chourio.
This is a really good sweeper. Look at the break on it. Adames not seen it very well. Didn't see the first two either.
Two for three for Jackson Chourio. Took a rip at that first pitch sweeper. He was looking for it. 9 out of 20 on this road trip out of the break for Chourio. Went into the break hot, stays hot. Growing up right before our eyes. Line drive left field, hanging up. Happ dives, makes the play. Just enough loft under it for a Happ to chase it down. Toyota game reset as we rejoin at the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 ball game. Brewers have stranded 9 on base, including the bases loaded twice, the first and the 6th. Both times they've scored runs. First pitch, a called strike on Mike Tauchman. Second inning for Junis. I become slightly distracted this half inning. It's because Ron Coomer is pelting the people below us with Tootsie Rolls. Cubs radio announcer with the Hall of Famer Pat Hughes. He just finished tossing his allotment of Tootsie Rolls out. Didn't throw any our way.
I know. I was trying to get his attention. He was locked in.
Pat and Ron. Been a Pat and Ron booth for a long time, going back to Pat Hughes and Ron Say. Ron Santo, I should say. Ron Say, the old infielder with the Dodgers. Ford Frick Award winner last year, Pat Hughes. Tauchman, a slow ground ball to second. One away. This bullpen game has worked out very well for the Brewers. Strisny, an inning plus. Wilson with the bulk for 4 innings. And we'll see how long Junis gets from Pat Murphy. Feels like this is a critical inning for him. Try and get through the 7th. He can do it economically. Maybe run him out there for the 8th. We'll see.
I think when they ran Zastryzny out there trying to get more out of him in the 2nd inning, I think that was kind of sending a message that there's maybe more people down in the bullpen than we thought. Bryce Wilson did a fantastic job. Junis with a real quick 6th.
Nito pops it up. It'll be Terang, calls off Rhys Hoskins. 2 away. And now a quick word from Gruber Law Offices.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Call Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Mastrobuoni 0 for 2. Mark Leiter Jr. cranking it up for the Cubs. Mastrobuoni extends the inning with a base hit to left. The 2-out base runner for Chicago. Got a walk in the 6th. Now a base hit by Mastrobuoni turns the lineup over to Nico Horner.
Junis on his way to a quick inning, spoiled by Mastrobuoni. Saw a fastball went above and beyond the zone. Shooting it to left.
Horner 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs and a fly out. Toss to first. Mastrobuoni back. He's got good speed. A tie game in the 7th. Mastrobuoni was jumping over there at first base, and Junis smartly just stepped off the back of the rubber. He's got 2 disengagements now because of it. Horner takes a strike. There goes Sanchez to second, and it's into center field. Mastrobuoni gets up. He's headed for 3rd. Not a terrible throw from Sanchez, but it skipped in the dirt. They had an appeal on the check swing. He didn't go. So it's 1-1, but Sanchez with this throw to second base. Not a bad pitch to throw on.
Terang going for the dangerous pick and tag, but ball gets away. That's just a 2nd stolen base for Mastrobuoni. Still just 1 pitch away from getting the 3rd out.
Go ahead run standing at 3rd base for the Cubs. Good slider. It's 1-2.
One thing the Cubs have been doing a great job in this series is getting hits with 2 outs. I feel like all their runs are coming off of, you almost feel like you're about to take that breath of like, oh, I'm getting out of this. Suddenly a guy gets on the stolen base.
Pokes to second base. Terang throws him out. Junis puts up another 0 despite the traffic. They go to the 8th, all square, 2-2.
Another close game between the Brewers and the Cubs here at Wrigley Field, tied at 2 as we head to the 8th, and the Brewers families play an important role in community outreach efforts with their commitment to several important causes. Each summer, the Brewers families team up with BCF to raise funds through a number of special events with proceeds earmarked for various organizations in Greater Milwaukee. And if you want to learn more about the Brewers families, you can go to brewers.com/wives.
Thanks, Sophia. Surprise, surprise, another close game between these 2 clubs. Garrett Mitchell leads it off against Mark Leiter Jr. Squares to bunt and missed it. Leiter is not allowed to run since coming off the injured list.
In game one, he pitched the 7th inning, struck out the side, struck out Turang, Contreras, and Yelich. He's good against righties and lefties.
There's the split. Curveball split against Garrett Mitchell, who is 0 for 3 today. Gary Sanchez on deck, and then Bryce Turang. Swing and a miss. 4 batters faced in this series for Leiter. He struck them all out.
It's his 37th strikeout on the splitter of the season. It's the second lowest opposing batting average on a single pitch. That's how good it is. Doesn't even need the fastball.
Here's Sanchez, first at bat for him since being activated from the injured list. Putting on quite the batting practice display the last couple of days at Wrigley. Not just onto Waveland, but over Waveland in left center. Ground ball left side. Plenty of time for Swanson. Sets his feet, throws a strike. 2 up and 2 down.
Turang, one of those victims in game one. Victim of the split from Mark Leiter Jr.
And miss low the curveball. The reason this game is tied is Bryce Turang came off the bench with a pinch hit RBI single. Came at the top of the 6th. First heater he's thrown in the inning. 1-1. To the right side, Horner. It's a 1-2-3 inning from Mike Leiter Jr. Bottom of the 8th on the way at Wrigley.
Stephen Watson here inside our Bally Sports Wisconsin studios. Both of these games so far in the series decided by 2 runs or less, so fitting we're tied at 2 apiece here in the bottom of the 8th. Coming up on Brewers Live, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin, Jackson Chourio continues his second half tear. 4 multi-hit games now for Action Jackson. We'll see if the Brewers bullpen and both guys can help finish this off, guys. And off day on deck, hoping for a happy drive up I-94.
Thanks, Waddy. As Michael Busch even in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacob Junis going out there for a 3rd inning. Scoreless 6th, scoreless 7th. 2-out traffic each of the last 2 innings against Junis. Busch swing and a miss. 1-2. Bullpen's going. It's Hector Neris. Cubs bullpen's in better shape than the Brewers bullpen is going into the finale tonight. So far, only 3 arms used. Ground ball to second. Bryce Turang getting worn out. That's a good thing. 1 up, 1 down, and now a quick message from Wendy's. Seiya Suzuki has squared it up 3 times today. Double, homer, and a line out to center. That line out to center came off of Junis. And ball 1. There's a strike, same spot. Joel Payamps cranking it up. One and 2.
Well, you got to think maybe not for this inning so much unless it gets out of hand, but this game continues tied. You got Payamps, and hopefully they can get the lead turned over to McGill when the time comes.
McGill closed it out last night. 1-2 pitch. Check the swing. Yes, he did. 2 away.
Slider. Nasty slider. Goes up and in on everything, and then all of a sudden just whips a slider in and out of the zone.
That was close.
Wow.
Disbelief.
I feel like that's been on the faces of people in both dugouts throughout this game.
Number of different calls that have gone one way or the other.
You could almost say the series as well.
Yep. Happ 1 out of 3. Takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Junis just filling up the strike zone.
Wasting no time. Get the ball, get on the mound, knows what he wants to do.
Coming back 0-2 on Happ.
Got Happ on a slider last time, rolled over to second base. I wonder if he's going to mix one in here.
Happ popped it up. Challenged him with a fastball in. It'll be Adames making the catch, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. On to the 9th at Wrigley.
All tied at 2 as we head to the 9th, and Brewers fans, bring the summer vibes to American Family Field on Friday for Yacht Rock Night, presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Grab a special ticket to get a Brewers captain hat with your seats. Get yours at brewers.com/theme nights. Man, I need that hat.
The Bernie Lomax one, or the Yacht Rock hat?
Yacht Rock hat.
Oh, I thought we saw Bernie Lomax in the back of the
He was hanging out.
stands. All right, 9th inning. Wrigley Field, a 2-2 game. Hector Neris is on for Chicago. Second appearance for Hector. Picked up the save in the opener.
Coming in after Mark Leiter Jr. throwing a split finger. Well, Hector Neris has that split finger as well. Got a save in game 1 against the Brewers.
See Perkins trying to lay down a base hit bunt. Perkins, a base hit, caught stealing on an obstruction play. Trying to get on to start this 9th. And takes a strike with a slider.
Doesn't throw a lot of sliders.
I think we've got some misidentified pitches, the first 2 in the sequence.
Probably splits.
Fouled it away. Fastball at 92. The Hawkeye can be wrong from time to time. Perkins flips one, left field foul. Brewers will drive home after the ball game today and then take on the Marlins over the weekend. Marlins may look very different once their series with the Brewers is concluded. Perkins, another foul.
Well, as that trade deadline approaches, everyone gets a little antsy. They're waiting for the first shoe to fall. Marlins got some trade pieces. And with every playoff-bound team needing starting pitching, Marlins got a few.
Perkins pokes it into right, a base hit. Stayed on the splitter long enough. The leadoff man is on for the 4th time in the last 5 innings.
Perkins led off the 5th with a single to left. Leads off the 9th with that single to the right side. It's like he just kind of slowed his swing down just enough to kind of get the bat in the path of that split finger. Just kind of dinks it out into right. Base stealing threat at first base.
Ortiz 0 for 3 with a walk. It's a pop-up. Shallow right. Suzuki. The first out. I think Ortiz was trying to go that way, but got under it. William Contreras coming up.
Now he faced Neris in game 1. Had a ground ball to first base.
And fouls one away. Got a fastball and was aggressive. Into the gap in left center. Watch Perkins run. It's going to go up and into the ivy. Perkins will score. The Brewers have the lead in the 9th.
Contreras probably looking for the splitter. He got at the bottom of the zone. And I mean, solid connection, flossing the gap. Perkins floating around the base paths. Nothing but green lights. Contreras 25th double on the season.
Got to feel good for William, who's been scuffling for the last 6 weeks at the plate. That was a perfect swing on a tough pitch. And now can the Brewers add on as Yoel Payamps is getting ready in the Brewers pen with a lead to protect. Hoskins fouls it away. These two former teammates in Philadelphia. Hoskins and Neris. There's Yoel. Oh-2. Ground ball, foul outside of third. It's either going to be foul or an out as Mastroboni's basically playing on the line. Swing and a miss. Hoskins gone on strikes. 2 away for Willy Adames. Single tally in this 9th inning. Willie a wave and a miss at the slider. Cubs will have Morel, Swanson, and Tauchman scheduled. Willie, big swing and a miss. In the dirt, Nito can't find it, and Contreras stops. Cat and mouse game.
Nito kind of daring him to take off. Contreras not afraid to run. We've seen him take the extra base. He's got some stolen bases as well.
Got him. So Neris gives up the run. William Contreras with an RBI double, scoring Perkins all the way from first. Series victory on the line as Yoel Payamps will try and close it out for the Crew. 3-2 Brewers, thanks to a swing from that man, William Contreras, in the top of the ninth. Yoel Payamps is on for the Crew. Try and save it. He's got Morel to start, and a swing and a miss at the slider. Payamps, last save coming back in April against Pittsburgh. Quick 0-2 on Morel.
He last pitched on Monday, first game of this series. Only faced one batter, got David Bodie out and stranded an inherited runner.
He's got 4 saves on this season, all coming in April. Didn't miss by much, 1-2.
That was still at a time when the Brewers were trying to figure out who their closer was going to be. There was a lot of closing by committee until Trevor McGill stood up, wrestled that to the ground, took that job from everyone.
Got him, one away. No messing around with Yoel Payamps with Christopher Morel.
Good sequence too. Got slider, sinker, slider, and the four seam. I think they're all respecting the off speed. He'll throw the changeup in there as well. Just 3 really good crisp pitches for Payamps. When he's good, he's efficient.
Swanson takes ball 1. He's been seeing the ball well. He's 1 for 3 today. Got on base last night against Trevor McGill in the 9th. Long single, ended up at second base. Was stranded there in a 1-0 Brewers win. Trying to hang on. Swing and a miss. Challenge there.
Brewers fans got the rally cheese ready.
Three and 1 on Swanson.
Trying to give some power to Payamps. I'll tell you what, that fastball's coming out clean and good.
He's 95 to make it 3-2. Third and foul, battling on that slider down and away. The Cubs do have some clout on the bench with Wisdom and Bodie available. Wouldn't hit for Tauchman. Wheels are turning there. 3-2 on Dansby Swanson.
Blew it right by him with the fastball. Man, the fastball looks so good coming out of his hand. A lot of late movement there at the end. What set that up, throwing a 3-2 slider. They got the foul ball from Swanson. Then you don't know if he's going to go slider or fastball after that. Blows it by him.
Tauchman rolls over the first one foul with a slider. Patrick Wisdom has emerged out of the Cubs dugout. He would hit next if Tauchman finds a way to reach. Payamps wants to go 3 up, 3 down and say see ya. Cubs took the opener 3-1. A 1-0 victory last night. The Brewers trying to hang on to a 1-run victory this afternoon. One ball, 2 strikes on Tauchman. Time used by Tauchman. Fly ball right center. Garrett Mitchell is there, and the Brewers take 2 of 3 from the Cubs, and the bullpen did the trick again.
What a road trip for this Brewers bullpen. They are 4-0, 25 and a third innings pitched, just 5 runs. They've been outstanding carrying this team on this trip. Yoel Payamps gets the save today. That's his 5th on the season. Brewers got timely hitting when they needed it. The bench was good. Terang off the bench with that big knock in the top of the 6th inning, scoring Willy Adames. That was enough for the Brewers until Perkins getting on base in the 9th. Contreras coming up big against Neris. This Brewers team relentless, proving that again on this road trip.
Win number 59 on this season. The Brewers bullpen allowed just 1 hit after the 3rd inning. Job well done by Pat Murphy and the Brew Crew. They take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. For Tim Dillard, Sophia Minert, our entire crew, I'm Jeff Levering saying so long from Wrigley. Day off tomorrow. We'll see you back at home for Brewers Marlins starting this weekend. Stick around for Brewers Live. It's coming your way next.
Another series win for the Crew coming out of the All-Star break. Coming up on Brewers Live, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Back-to-back one-run victories for the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Bolt guys setting them up for success. We'll hear from Pat Murphy as well. Happy drive up 94. Brewers Live is coming up next.